Controller saturation effects. Integral saturation or reset windup in case of cascade control scheme. Integral saturation or reset windup. Integral saturation or reset windup is a characteristic of integral action controllers whose output commands are fed into the inputs of cascade or secondary controllers. Saturation. In this context, the word saturation refers to a controller output reaching a limiting value and then attempting to exceed that figure. Request. It is hoped that this lecture is going to be useful to you. Please press like. Please subscribe. In a cascade design, the primary controller produces a set point for the secondary faster response process, the attemperature outlet temperature in our case. The secondary controller moves the actuator to keep the secondary process close to its set point. If the actuator reaches its end limits, there will be a deviation from set point in the primary process, that is, the superheater outlet temperature, and the primary controller will respond by adjusting the secondary set point. Since the actuator is at its limits, the deviation will not be restored, and while the primary controller's proportional component may not vary more than a few percent because the deviation continues to exist, the integrator will wind up towards its limits. When the superheater outlet temperature returns to set point, perhaps by a boiler load change or after soot blowing, the actuator will not start to respond until the primary controller's output returns to the current value of the secondary process. This will only occur after the primary process has significantly overshot the set point. A better approach is to force the primary controller's output to track the secondary process value while the actuator is at limits and while the primary process is either above or below its set point, depending on whether the actuator is fully open or closed. Once the primary process returns to its set point, tracking is released and the actuator can immediately start to move. Some DCS suppliers provide this facility in their standard controllers. Others require external logic to be configured. Request. It is hoped that this lecture is useful to you. Please press like. please subscribe.